This dude is crazy.
YouTuber ImAllexx is facing one of the worst downfalls in YouTube history, with his channels losing over 160,000 subscribers within just 2 weeks. This comes
Bro, that's like a legendary, like, that's one of the worst fuck-ups I've seen.
His ex-girlfriend, Alice Hez, published extensive evidence of mistreatment, abuse, and harassment she received over the course of their relationship. This has exposed the side of him that he kept hidden from his fan base, which is ironic considering his entire career is based around creating expose content on other YouTubers and internet personalities. Hi, I'm the
shitting on other people. No, this is the way that a lot of these people are. Is that like any time that somebody has like what I think a fake personality is or something like that, I think 100% they're probably an asshole in, like privately.
Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be looking into the disturbing downfall of Alex Elmsley, also known as ImAllexx. On the 15th of June 2024, Alice made a post on Twitter stating, "Here's my statement on the situation I've been scared to speak out on. It's best it was made public how horrible this person with a platform is. I'd hate to see another woman go through this." This post also included a Google Drive link, which contains a number of audio and video files.
Look at all this. MP4, I'm gonna fucking bash your head in. It wasn't. Oh my god.
Featuring Alex. Alongside that, it also contained an 80-plus page long document with dozens of statements detailing the abuse Alice endured.
Oh my god.
The screenshots and pictures to prove these allegations. The document opens up with a trigger warning for sexual assault, suicide, depression, and assault.
I bet.
Following this, the first major accusation against Alex is that he tried to blackmail Alice into staying quiet about the whole situation.
What a surprise.
In her words, "I've been threatened by Alex to not come out with anything at all and to keep quiet, or he'll create a contradicting story to discredit my own. But I'm not scared anymore." And
what kind of a contradicting story would you be able to come out with if you have a literal video of you saying that you're gonna bash somebody's head in? I feel like it's really hard to put that into a context where it's like, oh no, you're actually still wholesome.
As we'll see later, this accusation is disturbingly close to the truth. Alice also mentioned how she officially began dating Alex in March of last year, and later revealed that they broke up in December of 2023. So the relationship only lasted about 9 months in total. Now, that's just
80 pages in 9 months? Bro, this guy was speedrunning. Holy fuck! That's insane! He did all this in less than a year?
9 months. But with the sheer number and severity of the accusations in this document, it almost makes it unbelievable that it all went down in less than a year. That being said, the first issue Alice faced was Alex's constant need for attention. He expected her to be available for Discord calls 24/7.
Oh my god.
And she states, "Alex felt that because I'm home all day and work from home, that I would be able to call 24/7 and to completely shut out any other social interactions I have with my friends."
Always a very healthy ask from somebody else. Yeah, that's normal. Yeah, he wants the Discord kitten, apparently.
She couldn't join a call because she was busy elsewhere, like with friends or family. Alex would emotionally blackmail her, saying things like, "Guess everyone has got something better to do," or
"Nobody wants me around." You know what? That's kind of true.
Me. Either that, or he would get angry and start dishing out a barrage of insults. "Idiot, you text like a retard, so call me. You're stupid."
I mean, oh my god.
Stupid. And if Alice tried to apologize and calm things down, he'd stay heated and go as far as telling her to off and calling her a cunt. She further—
Jesus Christ, bro, like, to be honest, she's dry texting? Yeah, because she's fucking busy, man.
Explains, "After screaming at me in calls and disregarding everything I've ever said, he would explain how it's always my fault and that I should apologize, that I should fix it and fight for him after he's made it worse by completely dehumanizing and degrading me. What's extremely disturbing is
this guy's nuts, man. It's crazy because, like, the stories where it's like, because you guys have probably, like, how many of you have been around a girl that's like him? Yeah, me? Same. The times where an unstoppable force meets a immovable object with, like, a girl and a guy like this. Do you know when you hear about those? On the news. Like, whenever two of these people that are like this fucking come together. Yeah, somebody died, they robbed a bank together. Like, it's on Jerry Springer, something crazy. It's a bad combo, yeah.
Clash of the Titans. Dehumanizing here as a metaphor.
Now, when it's too fucking late, you admit that you did everything fucking wrong. But when it actually matters, when you should lay down like a good fucking dog.
During this time, Alice also found out that not only was Alex keeping touch with several of his exes despite
Okay, right. Of course he is. I think that the probability of somebody getting jealous that you're talking to other guys or other girls and then them doing it themselves because it's actually just projection, I feel like you're at about 90% with that. It's like a really, really high number, you know? 90%, 98%, yeah.
She also discovered that he was even stalking one of his previous girlfriends and still had her explicit images on his phone.
Naturally.
However, this was only the start of Alex's twisted behavior.
I love how that's the beginning and not the end.
Towards Alice. In July, the two of them went on a holiday to Italy. However, what should have been an opportunity for the two of them to finally make up got ruined when, according to Alice, Alex started watching a video about, quote, a girl being hyper after trauma, unquote, which is a terribly disturbing notion on so many different levels. So, when Alice noticed
I think I know where this is going.
Contents of this video, she opened up to Alex about her own past essay-related trauma. However, instead of consoling her or understanding her struggles, Alex told her that he, quote, doesn't want to know what has been done to her by other guys, unquote. He also got angry and threatened to leave Alice on her own in a foreign country with no way of getting back home. And
Jesus, man. What a nasty little rat. This is what a fucking loser, right? This is crazy. This guy's a menace. He is. He's a fucking menace.
Even blamed her for ruining the trip after coming back and saying things like, bringing up weird shit on our first holiday. You ruined every moment. As well as, I have no fond memories with you. However, things got even.
How does this go? Like, okay, to be honest, I do know exactly how this goes on. I know that extensively, but man, it shouldn't have.
Been worse for Alice when she asked Alex for advice about getting into Twitch streaming and expanding her online career. Instead of helping her in any meaningful way, Alex just resorted to belittling her for trying. You're like everyone else, stupid f***ing idiots who think they know better than the only man who has done it all successfully. As well as, it's easy to sit there like everyone else and cry about it when you're a jobless freak. Imagine trying to teach retards like you and my mates how to do this. And yourself, I just told you how to make 6 figures, so f*** off. They would even call Alice a, quote, dumb multiple times during this argument.
I hope this guy, you know, like, there's a really big part of me where, like, I genuinely kind of feel bad for him. There's something really wrong with this dude. This isn't the way a normal person acts. Bro, this dude is like, there's like a chemical imbalance in his fucking brain. So, like, this is insane. This anger, yeah, there's something wrong here, bro. Like, what the fuck?
And while this is awful, Alex managed to take things even further into the realm of depravity. For some context, many years ago, Alex posted a video in which he criticized Hannah Mojo's use of a racial slur by saying the N-word.
See, this is why I fucking love downfalls like this, because of how nasty. Remember what I was saying about yesterday about how I love seeing people that are virtue signalers fall from grace? Dude, this is like, bro, this is like porn. I fucking love this. Like, I could watch this all day, every day, and I would never get tired of it. This is my favorite thing to see. Nasty little rats like this getting exposed.
Out loud himself.
You like the drama? I do. I love it. Watch porn all day? Yeah, I'm on Twitch.
He later apologized for this and admitted that it was a dumb thing to do.
I deleted that video because I don't stand by that video, and that video was and there's no excuses for that video that I made.
Most bought this apology as genuine, with comments reading, "As a black person, I think he was genuinely sorry in his apology. You could tell he was ashamed. That doesn't excuse the fact he said it at all. But from the looks of things, it's clear that his use of the N-word wasn't a dumb mistake, but rather a deliberate..."
Are you telling me that he uses the N-word? I believe him. I don't need any evidence. I immediately believe it. Yep, I believe. True, of course.
Choice. Of course. This is because Alex seems to have no issues about using the N-word as an insult to his girlfriend. If you're already disgusted by Alex's emotional manipulation, gaslighting, and condescension, it gets even worse, because these usual insults quickly escalated into threats of physical violence, with Alex telling Alice to, quote, "die in a hole and kill yourself."
By using the N-word with the A in a private conversation, this is like, it's not really like, I mean, who the fuck gets mad? Who's getting mad about this, right? It's such a silly thing to get mad about. However, like going out and making statements about it publicly, that's weird. It's like, yeah, Twitter. Yeah, for sure. Different worlds. Yeah, exactly.
And even directly threatening her by saying things like, "I'm going to f***ing kill you." And
I'm going to... I love how he spells you wrong, and then he's like, wait a minute, I meant you. No, I'm going to kill you. Oh my god.
And "I'm going to break your neck." Alice also managed to record one of
This dude's nuts, bro. This guy needs to be medicated. This is a wild animal.
also managed to record one of these horrible threats he made during a video call.
Acting like this is all just me, and that's something you really need to fucking fix.
This
I'm
is
gonna fucking bash your fucking head against the wall with a brick if you don't shut the f up.
After putting up with these threats and constant abuse for a bit over 9 months,
How tall was he? Is he a tall guy? He's 5'2", you think so? Yeah, I don't know. Man. I don't know. So yeah, like what the fuck, man? This is crazy.
finally decided that enough was enough and broke up with Alex on the 28th of December 2023. She detailed the events leading up to this breakup in the document she shared with everyone on Twitter. According to her statements, on the day of the breakup, Alex asked if he could help with any house chores. She told him to clean the sides of the kitchen cabinets and take out the bins. But instead of doing the tasks he asked for, he started screaming at her for giving him more than one task and telling her that he couldn't handle more than one at a time. And
dude. So this guy, dude, I feel like the government's doing wrong by him. Well, he needs to be in a padded room. We have to help him. This is a problem.
And as Alice tried to walk away to avoid any further escalation, Alex crossed a major line. He allegedly became physically violent. According to the document in Alice's Google Drive, Alex kicked her in the back, nearly making her fall to the ground. At this point, Alice was scared out of her mind.
What, like fucking 300? What?
and was panicking. She was afraid that Alex would hit her again, so she started recording on her phone just in case. All the while, Alex began following her around, insulting her further and trying to incite another argument.
Oh my God.
During his rambling, he also says that he's the one who pays for everything, so what Alice has to say doesn't matter one bit.
Naturally.
After Alice left, he also began threatening to throw her remaining stuff out, including her PC setup worth over £4,000. She quickly returned to take it back, but it was too late. Her setup was on the floor in pieces.
Wow, who could have ever predicted this? Oh my God. Dude, fuck this guy. The thing is, like, this is insane. I saw one clip and I was like, oh, this guy, look at this. It's actually just a rat after all. Bro, this isn't a rat, bro. This is a rampage. This guy's a fucking animal. Holy shit. It's a psycho, yes.
The keyboard was broken and scattered everywhere, and both her monitor screens were also smashed to bits.
Oh, I bet.
From what we've seen so far, there's plenty of evidence to show just how abusive Alex had been towards Alice since the very beginning of their relationship. Yet something completely...
Like, I mean, this guy should just... Like, really? He should be in jail. I mean, threatening to kill her, saying how he's going to kill her, being... Like, he should be in jail. It's not even a question.
Surprising happened after the breakup. Put simply, Alex suddenly turned into a new man, or at least that's what he began saying, stating that he, quote, wants to make stuff better, and that he, quote, wants everything to be normal again. By this point, Alice wanted nothing to do with him, so she began ignoring him completely and even blocked his number, which is a clear indicator that she did not want to discuss anything with him. However,
no. Listen. This is the kind of guy who says my love is stronger than any restraining order. You really think this is gonna work with him? Bro. No.
However, Alex kept messaging her on different social platforms, including ones she made for her cat, in hopes of gaining her attention.
He's messaging her cat's Instagram. It's like, I wonder, like, in his head, do you think he ever has, like, thoughts of, like, am I going too far? Wait a minute. Am I batshit crazy? I'm messaging her cat's Instagram, all these paragraphs about how I love her? Am I actually fucking insane? Like, no, it's her. It's her. She's making me do this. Why would she do this to me? Why is she making me feel this way? Fucking bitch. What a psycho.
Even sent her a 24-minute long voice note crying, admitting fault, and begging Alice to give him another chance.
Oh, here we go.
I'd convinced myself that
20 minutes?
you were always looking for a way out. When in reality, you just wanted me to be normal. You didn't want my money. You didn't want anything.
By the way,
me.
if somebody ever goes and does this, like, y'all probably had this happen, right? If you've been in... I was in a relationship with a girl that inside of the same chat frame, I love you and I hate you would be there. Okay? There will never be a point where they stop doing this. It's never going to happen. They're never going to be like, they're not going to change for you. This is a person, it's like, you know what a good example of this is? It's like a Hollow in Dark Souls. They've already gone hollow. They're not people anymore, they're animals. And you should treat them like that. Just do whatever you need to do to make it not bite you, and then get the fuck away from it. Yeah, they have no humanity left. They're animals.
What I could be all the time.
They're withered. Yep.
I'm so sorry.
You can't
Alice.
fix them.
When that didn't work, he tried sending her a gift through Amazon with an apology message reading, "I'm deeply sorry for upsetting you and letting you down constantly.
I'm surprised he hasn't showed up at her house yet.
I hope one day you can forgive me and we can talk." He even tried the pre-internet technique of sending a handwritten letter to Alice, reading,
That's cute. If he wasn't insane, this probably would have worked.
Alice, I'm so sorry for not fixing my behavior before, and I understand this might be too late or too little. You are the love of my life, and I will never forgive myself for hurting you. During this time, Alice began posting things on Twitter and other social media platforms relating to domestic abuse and toxic relationships. Now, if someone suddenly starts making these kinds of posts, it's natural for people to assume they've experienced something similar.
Naturally.
These posts can come across as a subtle cry for help, a way to share their struggles without openly announcing them to everyone. And since many of Alex's subscribers knew about his relationship with Alice, they'd likely start asking questions. To avoid such a situation, Alex tried to talk Alice into keeping their matters hidden by saying stuff like, "We have a right to a private life," and that, quote, "venting to your friends, I understand."
I agree. Alice should not have gone to the public. She should have gone to the police. This dude should be in jail. He should actually be in jail. It's not even a question. Like, he's a danger to society. He's a fucking psycho. Like, it just... You act like an animal, I think they should put you in a cage. Should do both? Yeah, sure. I'm just saying, like, I hope that she presses... I hope somehow the police find out about this. Harmful for the environment, exactly, yes.
But this makes this whole situation harder for both of us and takes it to an unneeded place. But when Alice refused to cooperate one bit, Alex changed his approach and adopted a more threatening tone, saying things like...
They never change. No, I told you, they never change, bro. They never do this. It never gets better. It never gets better, bro. Like, that's it. Some people are just animals.
Posting this stuff, it'll end up being a huge problem. This is also where he began threatening to make up a counter story that Alice mentioned near the start of this document. Alex, I don't want to talk about you hitting me, and I found the text about the cat. Alice, because I didn't, and you'd be lying. Alex, when you said you'd punched me. Alice, I didn't punch you over a cat. Is this you saying you're gonna use that? Alex, no, I'm not. But right now, you're pushing against me. Before Alex could make up any stories about what, quote, actually happened, Alice decided to come forward with her story and all the evidence she'd gathered over the months, which brings us back...
maybe, but straight up calling him a psycho is kind of out of our competency. I don't really care, right? If you act like you're a psycho, you're a psycho. And also, like, at the end result, like, I think he's a psycho, like, for sure. I don't really care whether he is or not. What I think he really is I just think he's an obnoxious, annoying, disgusting animal that needs to be in a cage. I don't care about his feelings. I don't care about why he acts this way. It doesn't matter to me. Like, it like, literally has nothing to do with me. Like, he was abused. It was because he wasn't taking the right drugs. I don't care. Get rid of him. Why the fuck would I care? Yeah, because you're ignorant? No, I'm not ignorant. See, the thing is that I care about trying to do what's best for people that aren't psychos. And so in doing that, you have to hold people like this accountable. And you just get rid of them. I'm not really a big one for, let's give them therapy. Let's have them do different drugs. No, bro, put them in jail. Get them the fuck out of here. No. Why is it that anybody should have to, why are we padding out society for him to bounce around in it? He's so lucky that he is born in this day and age. If this was 150 years ago, they'd have taken him outside the town and shot him in the head. He's lucky. This is his best case scenario. We're not doing anything wrong. In fact, we're being nice. But it's not. What's this here? We got more civilized? I know. And in some cases, what happens is the civilized people, there's people that fuck up that civilization. They do. And you got to acknowledge that. Is off of his head. Yeah, bring back the Hammer. Yeah, bro, you did. Bro, it's still wrong. They're still humans, though? No, they're not. They're not real people like you and me. These are animals. These are you can't treat this person like a person. Absolutely not. No, you see psychos like this. You see people that act like this. They're not like you and me. They're not normal. It's like a hollow from Dark Souls. They don't got no humanity left. It's an animal. You got to put them in a cage. There's no other solution. You're not going to fix them. You're not going to talk them out of it. They're not like us, bro. Like, that's it. But some people can change. Some people can change. You're right. But do you want to risk the well-being of your sister or your daughter or your mother on it? No, you don't. So put them in the box. Everybody's always generous with somebody else's well-being.
To June 15th, when Alice made the Twitter post that started this whole controversy.
Yep.
As soon as the post went live, people started voicing their support for Alice, with a tweet from Wonderstruck reading, "Just finished reading through the drive. Genuinely deplorable behavior. I sincerely do apologize for the volatile behavior that was directed towards you." With another user tweeting, "I am literally shivering after seeing all this. More love and support to you. Please take care of yourself." The YouTube community is completely on Alice's side as well, to the point that they...
Yeah, I wonder why. I wish the police community was on her side. This is crazy.
Isn't a single person on YouTube who's defending Alex's actions.
Isn't it Disability Month? Isn't it supposed to be a month helping others from suffering from disabilities? Why would I care about him being disabled? Why would I even be thinking about him? I don't give a fuck about him being disabled. What does that have to do with me? What? No, you go and you attack people and you're violent and you threaten to kill them. Like, what is that? No, like, I don't care what. Your disability is the fact that you're not in a fucking cage. You're an animal. Get the fuck out of here. It doesn't matter. Like, so if you have a disability and that disability hurts other people, then you have to be removed from society. That's just the way it is. It doesn't matter whether it's a disability or it doesn't matter whether it's your fault or not. It's not about you. It doesn't matter. Like, you don't matter. Like, everybody else is the one that matters. Everybody else is getting hurt by you is the one that matters. I don't think about you.
It's important to note that a big reason why everyone's unanimously taking Alice's side is because the evidence she's published leaves no room for doubt. There are dozens of texts.
People make excuses for psychopaths or the epitome of wokeness. I remember there was one chick that she had like this guy that killed her mom, and then she tried to make friends with him afterwards because she thought like that, and then he killed her. It's just like, bro, some people... Oh, man. We live in a society now that they get saved from natural selection, right? But every once in a while, one of them gets selected. And that's the way it goes, right? And these people should serve as an example for everybody else. And these people, by the way, I don't have any sympathy for them, and I don't care. They deserve it. And I'm going to explain why. Because these are the people that will put your life in danger in order to make themselves feel virtuous. They will hurt you to make themselves feel like they're doing the right thing. That's why they're dangerous. There is a tremendous amount of selfishness in their altruism. It is not motivated by what's best for anyone else other than making themselves feel good. And they will put your life on the line so they can tell themselves that they're a good person. And so when I see one of those people have the same thing happen to them that they put everybody else at risk for, I say good. Fuck them. Because they would do the same thing, and they would put somebody who you care about in that same situation and then act like, oh, oops, right? Oh, too bad. Yeah, nah, bro. Nah. Deserve his space. And I understand that I am extremely harsh. I get that I am very brutal about this. But I think they deserve it.
Calling her all kinds of horrible names, and clips of him calling her a dog and threatening to smash her head against a wall with a brick. That's some pretty deplorable stuff. And while everyone else on the internet was bashing Alex's behavior towards his ex-girlfriend, two of his friends also came forwards with statements condemning his actions. Memulus made a post on Instagram stating, "I'm aware of the Alex situation. I would usually wait until both parties have said their side publicly before speaking out, but I think the evidence here is
he's gonna have his side.
I spent this morning reading what what Alice has written and going over the evidence she has provided, and no one should have to go through what she has. It's awful and disturbing and has seriously shocked me. I'm still processing what's happened. This
is crazy, bro. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I bet he probably had issues like this with his friends, but he probably felt more comfortable doing it to a woman. If you're illogical, if you think the two options are put them in a cage, they're an animal, and let them run free in society, do whatever they want. No, it's not true. If an animal bites somebody and it's dangerous, you just kill the animal. That's it. I feel like putting him in a cage is nicer than what I would do. Yeah, they're lucky that they're lucky they're not in an electric chair. That's it. You don't give when you do something like this to somebody, it's not like we get to play, oh, let's see if this works with you. Let's see if that works with you. Oh, maybe this will work. Because every fail state of that means somebody else gets hurt.
Of the worst situations I've ever seen in my life.
It's not worth the risk.
I hope Alice is okay. It took a lot of courage to speak out about this. Will and E also took a similar stance and completely sided with Alice, but also made a shocking revelation. Firstly, I really hope Alice is doing well and commend her massively for having the courage to get that out there. As Mia mentioned, there were rumors of his behavior earlier last year. Myself and a few others hadn't had contact with him since or been his friends for even longer. With that being said, the severity of the abuse that Alice published was far worse than anything I'd heard being discussed, and what he put her through is inexcusable.
The severity of, it's even worse. Oh yeah. No, I mean that's it. Yep.
In other words, people close to Alex already knew about his toxic traits, or at least had suspicions, but chose to ignore the matter until Alice came forward with her complete story.
Well, that's the right thing to do. Like, I understand that everybody can get mad at these guys for not coming out and saying this, but at the end of the day, they're hearing this secondhand. They have no actual experience of this happening, and they're not going to go and expose somebody else's trauma story to talk about it themselves, especially not whenever they have full information about it. Like, I understand, like, and I think it would be very different if they saw this happen, but they didn't. They're hearing this secondhand. So, like, if you're 98% sure, I still probably wouldn't take that chance because it's not your place. You don't know this happened. So they did what I think an intelligent person would do. They took it seriously. They distanced themselves from the person and they moved on.
Well, not everyone. According to Will and E's ex, Mia Xmon, she and Alex were signed to the same YouTube talent agency up until last year. For those of you who don't know, a YouTube talent agency is a company who helps them find sponsors in their videos. But when she became aware of the abuse back in June of 2023, she forwarded the information to the agency and pressured them into dropping Alex, which they did. And
of course. Yeah, I mean, of course. It's not even a question. Yeah. Like, why would they want a YouTube talent agency? As somebody who's an owner of a talent agency, talent management company, let me tell you, it's not a KEKW. They're incredibly useful. They provide a lot of value. And honestly, make a lot of money. That's not true. They are incredibly popular. There's a reason why people have that. Agencies have been popular for a long time. Yeah, it's common sense.
Most see this as a good thing. Some are calling Mia's moral compass into question, with a tweet reading, "Isn't she just as bad as everyone else who knew by staying silent? I feel like we can't criticize everyone else and give her praise because she also knew about it and didn't say anything publicly."
What a surprise that a person with a flag in their name is making a virtue signal statement that they have no idea what they're talking about with. Wow. Isn't that a shock? Has this ever happened before? This hasn't happened probably for 5 seconds. So, obviously, she's staying silent about it because it's not her place to come out and speak about it. Because in some cases, the reason why somebody like this doesn't want to talk about it is because if you expose this person, that could cause that person to go and attack or hurt the person who you're exposing them for hurting. This could trigger it to get even worse. So again, like, these are people, what matters to them is what sounds good. What matters to them is what makes them feel like they're the protagonist in a superhero movie. But the reality is much more complex than that. Twitter being Twitter. Yeah, it's just Twitter. What about police though? They don't have the evidence for it. They can't report a crime. How could they? Oh, I heard this happen to somebody else. I mean, it's already really, really hard to prosecute cases like this. So police pretty much need to hear it from one person. And so unless this person has bruises all over them, the police aren't going to be able to do anything.
As someone else points out, it's the victim's story. What if Alice wasn't ready to share it? Ultimately, it is a very complex situation.
Well, what did they respond? I agree with what you're saying, but I think it isn't fair that everyone is viewing her in a different light in comparison to Will or Inaber. I don't know. This is, again, so he agrees with what she's saying. So let me get this straight. You're shitting on her because other people are shitting on somebody else, and you don't think that's fair. So in order to make things fair in your made-up world, now you're harassing another person. God. This is why I love seeing these rats. Bro, like, every time bad shit happens to these rats, God, makes my day better. I hate these people, bro. Absolutely fucking hate them. Twitter brain? Yep.
Wasn't ready to share it. Ultimately, it is a very complex situation with no clear answer. Though, in light of Alice's bravery, a couple other victims of Alex have also come forward, detailing their
Remember what I fucking said, bro? Every single time one of these people gets exposed, it's never one person. And that Me Too shit, that's scientifically fucking... sorry, not scientifically. That is studied and proven. That the majority of people who are victims of abuse, and there is an abuser, they have, on average, 5 victims before it happens, and it comes out. It is a statistic. Look it up. Look at Doc. Yeah, look at Doc.
Experiences with him. The first of these is his ex-girlfriend, Jess Carter, who replied to Alice's tweet talking about how she had to endure similar treatment from Alex. She also posted a screenshot of texts one of her friends received from Alex back in 2019, which includes messages like, "I'm going to kick her head in, might kill her, might actually kill her," when talking about Jess. So from the
normal
looks of things, the threats of physical violence towards his romantic partner aren't exactly a new thing, and have been part of Alex's personality for a long time.
Yep.
And just like with Alice, people were quick to come forward to support Jess. At the same time, a YouTuber by the name of KingAnnie also came forward about her horrible experience with Alex.
Right.
But instead of receiving support like Alice and Jess, she's getting immense backlash for something she did alongside Alex about 4 years ago. For context, in mid-2019, the YouTuber Slazzo's ex-girlfriend, Shay, published a tweet longer accompanied by screenshots in which she accused Slazzo of being controlling, manipulative, and sexually abusive. A few weeks later, Slazzo made a video titled My Side, where he showed the screenshots, the proof, everything. He proved that he did not abuse her, he didn't force her to do anything, and he was just an immature boyfriend. In other words, the accusations against him were completely off base and inaccurate. Despite this, some people still kept saying that Slazzo was in the wrong, most notably KingAnnie. In the end,
yeah, so like, here's a good example. Were a bunch of other people coming out trying to shit on this guy? No, it was just that one girl. For me, when one person gets accused by multiple people, I go from assuming that it's not true to assuming that it is true. Because if you're like this, you're going to do this to everybody. And in almost all of the cases where it's somebody who actually did something bad, there is a list of victims. Almost never is it just one isolated incident or one person. You discount tribalism? I don't discount it. I think that this is I also don't discount common sense. I'm not saying that I would, convict them of this. But I would start from the position that I believe that it's probably true. Because I've seen this happen so many times. Like, I've probably seen this happen 100 times. And with like 95 of them, it's like this. Probably more. There's smoke, there's fire, yeah.
These false allegations completely ruined Slazo's career and forced him to quit YouTube entirely soon after. So now that the allegations against Alex came out, King Annie came out and blamed the entire Slazo situation on Alex as well. With a post reading, we started to realize that when there was even the smallest amount of drama and he heard about it, he would make sure to involve himself, even if the subject had absolutely nothing to do with him. And he would just make everything so much worse. For example, the Slazo situation. Though it was never said in the original statements by Shay, he somehow came to the conclusion that it was and everyone else got the blame for saying his words. However, people are not willing to let King Annie declare herself as a victim in the Slazo situation. With a post from Wavy Websurf reading, "You helped spread those Slazo allegations. Don't try to slink out of that. You heard a rumor, did zero vetting, and went with it. Take some accountability for what happened. You co-signed."
And that's why people don't want to come out when talk about, like, this is the exact... They're right to shit on her for this. They're completely right. She deserves this. That's the reason why those other people didn't want to come out with their story about Alex. Because it might have seemed true to them, but they weren't sure. And if you're wrong about something like this, it will destroy your career because everybody will hate you. Deservedly so.
That false story. Some don't even want to acknowledge her as a victim of Alex's toxic tendencies, with a tweet reading, "And now they're trying to take a piece of the victim pie. Alice is the victim, not her. What should have been a straightforward story of a domestic abuse victim coming out to the world has turned into a web of drama which somehow involves multiple YouTubers and incidents from over 4 years ago. This has also made it quite difficult to predict where the situation will go from here. The biggest unknown factor..."
I just hope this guy goes to jail. I do. I hope this guy goes to jail. I hope that they get this guy medicated. He's a danger to society. Really, like, I mean, he's going to have another girlfriend after this. And I'll tell you what the probability of him abusing that girlfriend is. It's 100%. It's a 100% probability. It's going to happen. And so you just have you have to stop these people, right? If you don't, they're just going to keep hurting more and more people. If he gets prosecuted, he's screwed. I hope so.
In this regard, however, is Alex's response, or lack thereof. At the time of writing this video, Alex has not yet responded to Alice's allegations in any shape or form. The video of him threatening to smash his girlfriend's head is enough to sink his career on its own. Not to mention the remaining videos and dozens of screenshots proving...
I mean, I really don't care about the YouTube channel, right? Like, it doesn't really matter to me. Like, it's this is legitimate dangerous to society. What, he physically abusing a girl while falsely accusing someone else of rape? Yeah, he's a piece of shit. Yeah, he is. How would he even respond to this? Yeah, it's a good point. Oh, well. We gotta understand, so, like, guys, my bad. Yeah, like,
points Alice has
Had a
brought up
bad
against
day.
him. Some speculate he'll make a half-assed apology and try to play the bad mental health card,
I was
but
in a
given the
dark
severity
place.
of the situation, that'll only enrage more people. In all honesty, it'd be a miracle if he somehow managed to keep even 10% of his audience, since there's nothing he can say or do that will restore his reputation at this point.
That's right.
Which is exactly the sort of situation Illuminati has found herself in as well. Click the video on screen to find out more.
man.
YouTube,
I love seeing rats like this get exposed. I do. I think it's so funny. Women hit men all the time and it's considered playful, but if a guy even thinks about touching a woman, he's an abuser. Oh, I have the radical idea that hitting another person is a bad idea. Yeah, so like if a woman hits you, it's bad. So I don't know who you're arguing against. You're jousting with windmills. Who are you trying to convince? You're trying to convince yourself. Get the fuck out of here. Take your cross somewhere else. I'm not going to nail you up here. Get the fuck out of here, freak. This is a great video. It's a great fucking video. Take your medication. Take a nap. I love this, bro. I really hope this guy goes to jail. I do. I hope he goes to jail. I hope that there's some degree of like actual accountability. Because, so this is what the problem is that a person like this, they are the most perverse of parasites. And I'll tell you what's going to happen, is he is going to use some stupid, naive girl's sympathy against him, against her, make her feel sorry for him, and then turn around and do the exact same thing to her too. That's what's going to happen. And to be fair, the girl is stupid. She's stupid, but she doesn't deserve to be abused because she's stupid. Right? Bro, Dr. But I'm saying, like, that's what it is, though, right? That's exactly what it is. And so she'll learn the hard way. Yep, exactly. I doubt he goes to jail. Most people don't care about this stuff. It happens online. This didn't happen online. Yeah, do you think there's a higher prevalence of these people in the influencer sphere? No, I actually don't think so. I think that there's people like this all over the world, and there's people, I think that you only hear about, like, you hear about this guy, and so, like, this video, how many people are looked at this video? 1 million people have watched this video so far. So, like, obviously, everybody's hearing about it, and there's, like, an awareness of it. But in the private space, I actually hear about stuff like this that happens all the time from, like, friends of friends and stuff like this. Yeah, it's actually super common, and, like, really bad stuff like this happens all the time. Like, if you go down to a trailer park, you're going to see people fighting like this before all the time. If you go to, like, the projects, or you go to, like, a grocery store around there where everybody's using, like, food stamps, you're going to see domestic abuse constantly. You go down to, like, a bar, like a shitty bar, you're going to see violence like this constantly. So, yeah, Waffle House, PvP zone, exactly. And so, yeah, it's extremely common. I think that the reason why people talk about it happening whenever it's, like, popular or, like, known individuals like this guy, the reason why is because oftentimes there is this person is able to use their position in order to leverage the ability to do what they're doing, right? Lol, sweeping generalizations. Yeah, they are sweeping generalizations, but on average, they're true. And they're also backed up by like different domestic violence statistics and things like that. So if you want to educate yourself about the topic, you can. But yeah, if you want to just get mad about statistics, then, you can keep doing that too. But, that's what happens. Yeah, this is very, very common. But anyway, does the hearsay at all? No, it doesn't. It happened before the internet too. Yeah, and it was probably worse before the internet. That's what's so crazy about this is, like, everybody thinks that, like, the internet is, like, why people are crazy. No, man. Like, this shit was, like, fucking horrible back in the day. Because back then you had, and I don't like to use the word because it's so fucking charged, but you had an unironic patriarchy where, like, men would beat the shit out of their girlfriends or their wives. And it would be like, oh, that's the way it is, right? Like, why didn't she do what you asked her to do? That's her job. Like, no, this is the way it used to be, guys. And it was not that. Like, there are people that are still alive today that lived that life. They were around in that culture. So that's still, yeah, in many places in the world, they still do that. So it's not like this is some crazy thing. So in fact, things have gotten so much better than they used to be. And things are better now than they ever have been in society for situations like this. And nothing has even come remotely close. And it's a beautiful and great thing that that's true. Shitty people did not in older times thing. Well, what I'm saying is that shitty people did it in old times and they got away with it. Good people might not have done it, but shitty people could do it then with less repercussions. That's the difference. So yeah, internet made it harder for these people to hide away. Yeah, exactly. Abuse is abuse. Yeah, exactly. And so, like, if I've got somebody who's got, like, their idea of, oh, well, women do this too. If you're hitting somebody, you're wrong. It's really simple. Don't you tend to argue about living the traditional life because it's been that way for thousands of years? Yeah, I do. I just don't think beating your wife is a good part of that. Yeah, I just don't agree with that part. Like, I don't think it's a good idea. Yeah, it's a gotcha. No, yeah, and like, obviously, like, there's a lot of things that we used to do. We don't do that anymore, etc. What did Ricardo comment? That was that. I think that we will. Let me see. Can I scroll up and ban that guy? Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna ban them. That was a completely retarded comment. It was. It's like one of those gotcha comments where it's like, oh yeah, but you said this, so I'm gonna interpret it in a bad faith way and then act like, you know, you want people to beat their wives. Nah, that you're done. Get the fuck out of here. That's a waste of everybody's time. So yeah, can't bait the masturbator. There it is. You can't judge history on modern day standards, though. I'm not saying that you can judge it on modern day standards. What I'm saying is that if you compare it to the way it used to be, it's a lot better than it used to be. It's just that simple. Like, I don't actually, no, I'm not even going to get into that. But yeah, we haven't changed one bit. No, we haven't. I don't think people have changed, but I do think that people's impulses and their ability to control their impulses has changed, because if they don't, they will get punished. It's very simple. If you put a high punishment for something, you will make people not do it. It's so simple. The culture has changed. Yeah, and the culture has changed, by the way. It has definitely changed. But there are a lot of people, again, you go to a trailer park, go to the projects, go to like a shitty bar, and you're going to see shit like this happening now. Absolutely. In the past, it was widely socially acceptable to beat women and beat the weak, which was horrible. Yeah, it was. It was absolutely socially acceptable. Yeah, 100%. And that's not the punishment. It's a market force, supply and demand. I don't know about that. I think it's the punishment. I think it's absolutely the punishment. Like, if you have a really bad punishment for something, I'll link you guys the video again to give it a like. This is just, I love this fucking video, bro. Like, this is such a good video. Society is made the way it should be. Now people are being held accountable. Yeah, exactly. They're constantly moving the front line of society, good or bad. Yeah, and also a lot of times, like, people like to be like, oh yeah, that's actually like kind of a good thing that like guys used to be able to do that. Like, you don't really believe that. And like, if somebody did that to your mom, like, you know, you had like a stepdad that did that to your mom, what would you want to do? Well, you'd want to kill him, right? So like, you don't really believe this, right? You don't actually think this. You only think this because it's not happening to you, right? Or it's not affecting you. I'll be right back. Or sister, yeah, daughter, anything like that.